Hello, I'm Andrew Weens with the Trinity family. Welcome to our Up Not Out Education video blog. We are in the 6th and final week of our series on story. Last week I gave you 3 tips for how you can get families involved into the story you're telling in your school programs. Today I want to give you the one skill, the one thing you need to know to make sure your audience doesn't wander and wander. It needs to wander. It doesn't wander, and here's what it is. You cannot change the subject. You must keep telling the story. Keep giving new inspiration, new insight, but keep using the language. I learned this the hard way. When I was first leading the team where I was talking about guarding childhood, and I did it, and I kept telling that story for the first 6 months. I had energy, I had passion, and then I kind of just felt like I was beating a dead horse, and so I said, okay, I'll start talking about something else. And I began to bring other themes into the staff meetings, and I let the Up Not Out thing, the guarding childhood, just kind of go to the background, and with the thought that it would continue because they had it, they'd learned it. And I watched as our program took steps back in the quality that we were offering. We lost the energy, we lost the momentum because I quit telling the story. You cannot, as a leader of your classroom, of your programs, you cannot quit telling the story. And in order to be able to have the fuel, to have the words, to have the language, to have the story to keep telling, you've got to live it. And that's the truth. That's the key, is you've got to go on your own journey with this story. That you need to be the Gandalf guide who's light years ahead of Frodo in understanding the workings of Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings style. Whatever your story is, you've got to be the advanced guide who's ahead of your kids, going on the same journey and continuously growing in it. And so, I want to give you some ideas for tools that can help you go on that journey. And then once you go on the journey, you've got to communicate it to your kids. You've got to communicate it to your staff. You've got to start your day with a little blip about, oh, yesterday I paused and I looked at this butterfly and it was amazing. You've got to start your staff meetings with those kinds of stories of where you're learning. You've got to write things in your newsletters to your families. Whatever it is you do, you've got to tell your own journey vulnerably so they see you doing it and they can go after it. So, you, though, need a tool to do it your own way. Here's some ideas. Put together a reading list. If you're a reader, find some books that are around the theme of the story that you want to be giving for kids and go on a reading journey. Learn this story and keep doing it. And then tell people what you're learning in your reading. Maybe you're a journaler. Start a journal around this story subject. Take 5 minutes every day and just reflect and write down some things for yourself. Maybe you are a writer and you actually want to share some ideas and some concepts and begin to flesh some things out. Maybe you want to write a book. Go ahead and do it, but write some blogs, share it with your staff, with your kids. Write things that you can get and distribute and begin to talk to, or at least talk from in your staff meetings, in your classroom. Final thing, maybe you're just a really good programmer. You like planning lesson plans or doing things for kids, and so that's what you do. Okay, let that be your journey. Do it frequently and let yourself go on a journey for how do I take this story and actually embed it in the way the activities I do for kids. And do that consistently and let that be your gateway, your tool for you to go on your own journey that you can then take snippets from, sound bites from, hey, this is what I'm learning, and you can tell it to your staff, you can tell it to your students, you can share it with your families. You cannot change the subject. If you do, your story will fizzle, your audience will wander, and your kids will suffer. The heroes won't make the goal because the guide quit telling them the story. So, you have the tools to write a great story. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being an Up Not Out educator. Tune in with us next week. I'm so excited to start a new series with you where I give you the tools you need to create great scenes in your classroom, in your programs. We have got to take education, and we've got to move it from activities to meaningful, great scene moments that we remember, that inspire us, that remind us and tell us that life is worth learning forever. So, have a great day and a great week. We'll see you next week as we start that new series. Goodbye.